I got you. I'll try not to.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to CrawlerCast, Arkansas's #1 talk show in the world of scale RC crawling. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us. And on today's episode, we got the one, the only Arkansas RC Newbie.
I am here. I'm excited.
What's up, buddy?
Dude, it feels like I made it. You
right?
know what I'm saying? I'm watching all these other guys on CrawlerCast. Like, when are you going to have me?
Man, I wanted to save you for the first episode of the year and really start it off right.
Absolutely.
And have you on the January episode and kick 2024 off right.
Man, we got some stuff we have to talk about the whole year. You know what I'm talking
right.
about? What I'm saying? I mean, we did a whole bunch of different competitions. You were one of my driving partners.
Absolutely.
Stuff was breaking. We got a whole bunch of
Man, we had a hell of a year, didn't we?
God, man, it was a mess. But
it's been a lot of events.
Yeah, it's nice to be somewhere where it's just calm. I don't have to give anybody money. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you don't have to pay no judges.
Yeah, exactly. I feel okay. You know?
Right.
Different.
Right. So not many events coming up in January. This is kind of the rest period for the hobby. A lot of guys taking time for new builds and stuff like that. But we do have, let's see, we got the RFC finale coming up January 13th, 11 a.m. at VPRC Raceway in Alexander.
Okay, now have you been a part of that? Have you been doing any of the
I have. We've been doing it this whole season. Okay. Of course, this is being filmed prior to January 1st, but so next Saturday we have event number 3. Okay. That's at Woolly Hollow.
Woolly Hollow is a good spot.
Yeah, I've never been there.
A beautiful spot right outside Greenbrier.
Heck yeah.
And I remember on that your last CrawlerCast episode, you guys were talking about going out there and getting some crawling in. It ought to be a good spot. I mean, that's a whole bunch of. I mean, you can go out there and camp. You can go out there and fish. Right. You can go out there and mountain bike ride.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a whole.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never gotten a chance to go out there. It's a little bit of a drive for me, but not too bad. It's within my
See, now
my
I'm
window.
telling you, like the whole HHSC, you guys got to get some closer events to where we live in Morrilton.
So that's the thing. So next year in 2024, CrawlerCast is going to host events, and it's just going to be single cash comps. They're just going to be thrown in here and there throughout the year. Hot Springs Scale Crawlers is going to stay in Hot Springs. We're going to keep that here, and it's the championship series. This is the points list.
Okay, so
CrawlerCast, I'm going to venture out and go Turtle Rock, Bear Cave, Woolly Hollow.
It ain't going to be a season.
It's not going to be a season for points or anything. It'll just be, hey, nobody has anything scheduled for this weekend. Let's throw a cash comp. Gotcha. You know what I mean? So it'll kind of be a spontaneous deal to fill in the gaps and stuff like that. And that's where we'll venture out to other places. For the point series, I like to keep it local. Yeah. Everybody that's kind of heavy into it has hit the locations, so everybody's kind of familiar. Yeah. And then I'm trying to find new locations here and there. So
I got you. I think one of my favorite things about you throwing the events and putting stuff on throughout the season is all the familiar faces and then the new faces, and then people get drawn to it so fast. Yes. And then they're just like, I'm gonna be here next week. They're gonna be here next month, and I love that. And I want to give Arkansas RC Newbie some credit for bringing a lot of people in. Oh,
absolutely, bro. Like, so
I've been waiting for some love,
bro. I don't think nobody shows you more love than me.
I'm like, man, every time I watch it, everybody always brings me up. I appreciate that.
Heck yeah, man. No, I've ever since the first comp last season when you came.
Was that just last season? Was the first comp that I came to? Wow. Yep. Yeah, that was it's been a learning experience, And on the channel, I mean, people. I don't know if I'm sure you've got some people that don't necessarily watch my channel, but they can see me getting RGT $250 crawler, taking it out to an event, from the box to the event, not knowing anything, and kind of going over a whole season.
No, I saw your vision from the very beginning.
I'm glad you did.
And I thought it was a great idea, and I welcomed you for sure.
No, you did, man. Everybody did. And I know we're going to get into some history and all that, but I don't want to break into the history aspect of it. But the whole RC crawling world, that whole hobby, like, everybody is so helpful, you know what I'm saying? And it's unlike anything I've really, I've had little hobbies here and there, but the RC one has definitely been one of the funnest, just because everybody is so willing to help each other out.
Man, there's nothing, I've done dirt bike racing, I've done professional style paintball, I've done all kinds of different extreme hobby stuff, and I've not found a community like the RC crawling community. Yeah. RC hobbyists in general, and everybody has their own little Airplanes. Yeah. Everybody has their own little area that they kind of fit into, but the community is like no other.
No, it's awesome. I mean, there's no telling how many times I've been out on a course, broke something, needed a screw, needed a bolt, needed something, and everybody is willing to just, hey, let's get you through. And it's like, man, like your money's going up against my money. I'm trying to beat you. But on the tail end, people are trying to help each other, and it's just it's an awesome hobby to be a part of.
Well, nobody wants to beat you because you broke.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we all
want to beat people because they broke.
We all compete because we feel like we're one of the best, and we want to prove that we're one of the best. And you can't be the best without beating the best.
Yeah. I can't say though, it does feel good sometimes when your servo goes out. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like I'm like, ooh, here we go. You know? I think about that $10, man.
So 2024 is going to be crazy, guys. We've got so many events coming up. The Arkansas Remote Control Crawlers is coming back alive with the RC events and the Tough Truck challenges they're going to host. We got Arkansas Comp Rigs is going to be hosting 10-gate comps next year.
What is the Tough Truck all about? What is that?
So TTC events is like one of the oldest style events for what we do.
Okay.
And it's more trail, but it incorporates rock, water, mud pits. There's just all the extreme elements, and you have to build a truck that can handle all the different types of terrain in RC off-roading.
Okay.
Not just rock crawling, or not just trailing, or not just mudding. It has to be able to crawl, trail, and mud.
Maybe that's what this build's going to be for.
Maybe.
You know?
We'll get into that one here in a minute.
Oh, that's a mess.
But 2024 is going to be pretty good, and I've actually got some announcements for Hot Spring Scale Crawlers.
Okay.
So, man, if you follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, you might have been able to guess this so far, but I've been able to bring on Endura as a sponsor
for
the Hot Spring Scale Crawlers 2024 Championship Series events.
Awesome. Okay, so they're official sponsor.
They're official sponsor on board with the club. Yep.
Dude, that is too cool.
And I got the sponsor package over there, and a video on that will be released right after this video is aired. And
you talking about your Endura crawler over there? Everything
Endura?
No. Oh, okay.
No, not all that. The box down below it.
Oh, okay.
No, that is a new build, a new Endura-based build. Video coming out on it January 3rd. Keep an eye out for that. Right now we're keeping it a little hush-hush. But if you follow me on social medias, you might have seen a few sneak peeks here and there.
Yeah, so please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, right?
Absolutely.
And turn the notifications on because he let me check it out, and that thing is pretty sweet.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Endura.
So yeah, we're happy to bring on Endura. Yeah, and my new build is what began the talks with the rep from Endura,
that's cool.
And it just several emails back and forth, and told them about the club and told them what we'd like to do and how I could promote their business and bring exposure.
I mean, you can pretty much build an entire crawler off of Endura stuff.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I've tried.
And that's pretty much what I've done. I've taken a brand new SCX10 Pro kit, and then I bought Endura's almost their entire line of SCX10 Pro parts.
Wow.
And I built the SCX10 Pro kit using all the Endura hop-ups, including carbon fiber chassis rails, axle hop-ups, aluminum hop-ups, the works.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a nice build. And we got that beautiful custom paint job from Nomad.
Yeah, that is sweet.
That thing
Wait
is
till you guys
sweet.
see that. That is awesome.
So, another new sponsor we got, me as in CrawlerCast, I'm going to step up and back the club under the CrawlerCast name.
Okay.
And I'm going to donate $300 to the prize pool for the 2024 season.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
So is that going to be cash, that CrawlerCast, or is it going to be parts?
So for the year-end prize pool.
Okay.
So this will be for the guys that sign up for the year-end prize points list. The prizes that you'll win at the end of the year, I'm donating $300 to that prize pool.
Oof, all right, that's going to be awesome too. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of new sponsors. That's a big deal there.
Yep. And the first thing I'm going to do, because $300 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not like I just have $300, but I have till March, April to come up with it. So I've got a plan. First thing we're going to do is I've got this beautiful Nomad's Creation custom painted body that I won at the end of the year for 2023.
Everybody wanted that.
Everybody wanted it, and My greedy little butt just couldn't stand it, and I snagged it. And it has been sitting on my shelf this entire time.
No holes drilling in it.
No holes drilled in. It's immaculate condition, brand new. I've decided I'm going to put this body up for raffle, and all the proceeds from the raffle are going to help me in that $300 goal to sponsor the Hot Spring Scale Crawlers with some prizes at the end of the year.
Cool, man. Well, heck of a way to start it off.
So not only that body, I'm also going to raffle off this Phoenix body that I built personally, and it's a custom color changing paint. And this was built for the RC RFC rig, but we ended up going a different route.
Okay.
And I'm using that chassis for something else now, so I've got this body laying around, and it's going to get donated as well. So right after you watch this video, hit up CrawlerCast on Facebook for all the details on how you can enter to win one of these two beautiful bodies.
Yeah, that's sweet, man.
And also, Nomad Creations has pledged to return for 2024 season. They'll be sponsoring our trophies once again.
Awesome. No, they did a great job with last year's stuff, or this year's stuff.
We love Brian's work. He does great.
Yeah. Another thing about him too is that, you know, a lot of people don't know is, like, you can come out with a clear body like you're talking about, go to one of the events and talk to him, and he will give you a price right there on the spot on how to paint it, what you want painted. He'll take it home with him, and then he'll send it to you. Like, that's crazy. So very cool with the Nomad Creations.
So my new build that we were just talking about, all I did was I had a particular set of wheels that I wanted to use for the build. I sent him them wheels and a clear body and just said 80s vibe.
Do what you want to do with it. And it
full artistic license.
And it come out beautiful.
And he killed it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It turned out great. So 2024, there's a lot going on. Thank you to the new sponsors. Thank you to Enjoy. Thank you for returning Nomad. And we've got some more news coming up. I got a few things I need to get dialed in, and we'll make some more announcements on some other sponsored issues. And
no, it's heck of a shout out there, man.
Yeah.
Jorah. That's a big deal.
All right, so your background comes more from mountain bikes than RC cars. So tell me a little bit about that.
Man, mountain biking, full adrenaline sports, you know, combat sports, definitely been involved in for a long time. And really, I need to find a hobby because, you know, we also have another YouTube channel, Wolfstick Videos, which is a lot bigger than Arkansas RC Newbie. But I just wanted to find something that could kind of take me away from editing and mountain biking and the gym. You know, I needed a hobby.
Right.
And way back in the day, when I first moved to Arkansas, I was racing 1/10 scale stadium trucks.
Right.
And I loved it. And anything I do, I usually go all out with it. And you're probably familiar with that. You know, you just go all out. You know.
Yeah.
So I went all out with this racing deal, and unfortunately, it was like every racetrack started closing here in Arkansas that I went out and wanted to race at, and it was just getting, you know, less and less people wanting to show up. And I was like, man, well, you can't really race by yourself.
Right.
So I was like, let's simply go ahead and sell this while the stuff is still worth something. Sold off the RC stuff. I bought me a drone and enjoyed that, and then it come where I couldn't fly it anywhere. You know, everywhere banned drones, it seemed like. So I sold that sucker off. And I was always thinking about, man, I really enjoyed racing. I thought about getting back into it, you know. And I thought, you know, going slow is a lot of fun, trying to crawl over rocks and stuff.
Right.
And I remember it was kind of getting popular back in the day, and there really wasn't any clubs or anything like that. And I thought, let me look at some crawlers and maybe just something to tinker with, a new hobby to pick up. And then I think that's when I found some crawling videos on YouTube, and maybe it was one of your videos. Somebody had posted something about there was a club in Arkansas or something, Hot Springs. And I was like, dude, that would be really cool to become part of that club. But let me go ahead and get a crawler. So me and my dad were going back and forth, and he goes, you know, it would be a great idea. It's like, not that you want to do a YouTube channel or nothing like that, but how about you record? Because every time you've ever gotten into something, you've done it all out. You probably should record this, and maybe we could do something with the footage, you know? So we had all the stuff to record, and I thought, let me go ahead and buy a crawler, his idea. Why don't you buy a crawler, get it from box, take it to these guys, this competition, and see how you do. You got nothing to lose, you know? And I was like, that sounds like a great series. You know, like I would watch that all day.
Yeah.
You know, it probably wasn't done the best because I don't know if I broke it across or let people know, you know, right off the bat that was the intentions. But man, I got that crawler, and that was the first time I'd ever gone slow over anything. I mean, I'd never driven a crawler before that. It was all racing or drones, and that was the first time. I mean, I literally charged up the batteries. I think I drove it out at the river one time, and it did terribly, or I thought it did great, you know, because you get something new every, you know. Just like
it's awesome.
Oh my God, it goes over this, and it goes over that. You know, the battery lasted maybe 10 minutes. And that's when I gave you a call, or gave some of the guys a call over there. I showed up probably an hour late. I'm trying to figure out who I need to pay money to. Got the batteries charged up, and it just kind of took off from there, you know. It's such an addicting hobby. And I've always been one of them guys where I want to upgrade stuff. I want to fix stuff up. I want to have better tires. I want to have better wheels. I want to have a better motor. And that this is definitely the hobby for me. You know, it just takes me away from just having to, I don't know, I guess it's an enjoyable job, because, you know, YouTube is a job. You understand that.
Absolutely.
You know? It's definitely a job, but it's one that I can really enjoy. You know, not that mountain biking is not. It's just mountain biking is very physical. You know, you got to load up a bunch of bikes. You got to get ready to film. You got to move bikes out. You got to do all that stuff. This here, I can just charge that battery up, throw it in the back of the car, and I'm good to go. You know, we just got to go to hot springs to do it. But man, that's the background. And like I said, I'm so enthralled with this hobby. And it was funny because like my dad, you know, with the RGT we started out the channel with, he's like, look, one of these days you're going to have like 3 or 4 crawlers. I'm like, whatever. I'll probably have this. I'm going to build it up. And now I've got, I think, like 4 total. And I got a damn jet back here behind me. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, it's crazy. But it sure is fun ordering parts.
That's the best part of this hobby, though, is you can just jump right in there.
Yeah.
Not have a freaking clue.
Yeah.
And then just go online and be like, hey, what do I do? And so many people will help you, point you in the right direction. You should do this, don't do that, get this part, not that part.
And see, but that's the scary thing too, because with this hobby, everybody has their own driving style and their own setup. And you understand that. Everybody that's watching this understands that. So something that works for you, for instance, you like to run them Tusk tires.
Not me.
Or is it not the Tusk?
No, I'm the BFG crawlers.
Oh, BFG crawlers. I can't stand them tires. I sold them. I could not stand those, but you were like in love with them. I'm like, hey,
it's the only thing I run.
I'm like, Luke's doing something right. So I bought me some, and I did terrible with them. You know. But the scary part about the hobby, just like the racing or anything else, is, and I'm sure like your dirt bike racing days, everybody's like, oh, you got to run this, you got to run that, you got to run these gloves, you got to run these grips, you got to run this gear.
Yep.
It's the same thing, but that is just so enjoyable because you get to find out your mistakes and what works for you. And there are tons of options out there. You know, and Jura, I've gone through a lot of their products, and I'm kind of coming up with what I like for my builds. And it's never ending. You know. I think,
and that evolves. That evolves as you build. You start to get familiar with certain brands where you know you can just look at a part online that a company just released and know if it's going to work for you or not. You know what I mean?
I'm not there yet. Not there yet.
And that comes with builds, experience, building, trying all these different parts. You buy 5 different sets of tires to narrow it down to one. You know what I mean? It's just something we go through. When you're really into competition and you want to compete, you're looking for that little bit of edge.
You want that
These
edge.
guys are getting so good.
No, they really are.
Everybody's getting so good, and the rigs are getting crazy. And
I mean, there's 2 guys that stick out to me with the HHSC, the series there. We'll call it a series, right? The season. Tony.
Yeah.
All right, because that guy, when he first showed up with his rig, I thought, you know, Tony. If you guys go back on the Arkansas RC Newbie channel, you guys can see all the comps pretty much. Tony, I said, this guy's going to be good. And he's gotten really good. I mean, him and James got first place at the team comp. You know? And it's just so cool to see the progress. And next progress guy, and he was a big racer, is old DVP.
Yep.
You know, that guy there was like...
Do not sleep on DVP.
No, man. No. I mean, you know, I mean, it's scary on how good and how fast. I think maybe because they're old. You know, I'm gonna call them, maybe because they're old.
Shout out David Van Pelt. He said it, not me.
And Tony, you know, don't forget him. Maybe it's just they got more time on their hands, but that's what this hobby... I think that it takes a lot of tinkering, and that's what I'm all about, is the tinkering.
Yeah.
But it's just finding the time to do it, you know.
Oh, building's half the fun for me.
Yeah.
I love to build, and I just recently got into building kits. Like I'd always, you know, coming up in it, you don't have a whole lot of money to just dump into a hobby. Most people don't, you know what I mean? So you start out buying used stuff, and you trade, and you barter, and you buy used stuff and things like that, and that's kind of how I built up. You were just talking about all the parts I have in there.
We just looked at your part room. I mean,
yeah.
wow.
and it's from that. It's just from years of buying older rigs and using what I needed off of it and parting the rest of it out and things like that. But
yeah. And I'm not there yet as far as the kits, because like you said, I don't know enough. You know, I'm an Arkansas RC Newbie. I still don't know enough about, like you're talking about with Enduro, like you can buy this for that, your kit, you know?
Right.
And you pretty much know what's going to fit. Yeah, so when it comes down to it, I guess, like I said, I just don't have enough of the know-how yet how to do a kit. But then again, you know, that was some question I was wanting to ask you, you know, either now or we can do it in the future, is like, what do you feel is comfortable for a 1/10 Class 2 crawler? Do you have a wheelbase? I know all crawlers are different, but do you have a wheelbase that you like and the ground clearance that you like?
So, I've typically always ran a 12.3 wheelbase.
That's a popular 12.3.
Which is the most popular, yeah. Okay. And with the SCX10 Pro that I'm starting to run, as you know, my Class 1 and 2 are both SCX10 Pro rigs, and they run a 12.5.
12.5?
Yeah.
And now what's the ground clearance?
It's only a couple of inches. It's like maybe... I don't know exactly.
You don't know exactly?
It's pretty low on them.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got them set up where the ride height is really low on the skid.
And I know, let's see, Jason always says you get a pack of cigarettes. If you can turn it sideways and slip it up underneath and it's barely touching, that's where he wants his. You know, and I think that's right about 2 inches or something like that. I like to go a little bit below 2 inches, and I've got that. You know, I've got my AMK carbon fiber crawler chassis here, my budget build I call it. She did pretty good this last season, but again, that's what's difficult because I've got the channel, so it's like, man, I only can do so many upgrades and then to the next comp. You know, I can't just go with a brand new comp. So with all the changes I've made with this so far, it's kind of a trial and error every competition.
Absolutely.
Until next year, because I'm gonna be running nothing but this guy here.
Right.
All right. So you better be prepared to
start
writing some checks.
You're starting to get that one dialed in towards the end of the season for sure.
I really am. You know. But then that's the issue that I'm starting to have with this guy here is I can't set up my wheelbase and the ground clearance. And there's just not a lot of videos out there with this that Enduro carbon fiber chassis there. There's not enough videos out there with different people building them for me to get an idea of where it needs to be. It's either or. I don't know. It's one of those things, you know.
Yeah, and you also run the internal spring shocks, and I always run external spring shocks. So there's different ways that you set those two different types of suspension up. So how I set up my rigs is going to be completely different to how you would with running that style of suspension.
Yeah, and the only reason I started running that kind of suspension because I saw everybody else running it. You know, in racing, of course, you don't run those, but it's been a learning experience for sure. You know, next year's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, do you have a date on the first comp?
Always March. So it'll be the third Saturday of March. We'll do our season opener. We always do the opening at the off-road park in the Hot Springs Off-Road Park.
Okay.
So I'm not sure the exact date, but it's always the third Saturday of each month, and we start in March.
Now let me ask you this. I want your honest opinion.
Okay.
Honesty.
Okay.
How do you think this is going to go?
Oh my God.
This is the Viper V2 guys from FMS.
I think it's going to go up and then down.
Oh man. Up and down?
And then in the trash.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope you're
not. I hope not too.
Look, everybody's talking about me getting a trainer first, you know, like getting a little bitty trainer. But I was like, I do things.
Go big or go home, baby.
Thank you. I do it all or nothing. I'm on all or nothing guy.
Go big
or
go home.
So the Viper V2, I mean.
No, that thing is sick, dude.
It's supposed to go like, I've seen some videos on the internet, people are talking about 90 miles an hour, you know?
Jesus.
Yeah, and I don't think that's scale speed. So I don't know what to expect. What I'm kind of hoping is become part of a club and have somebody out there helping me fly it, like a professional.
There's an actual airport here in Hot Springs out there at Cedar Glades.
Yeah, where the crawler course is.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that. You know, and it's not that crawling's not fun, because that's what when we were talking about racing all earlier. Crawling you can do alone. Right. It's not as fun, especially if there ain't no money on it. But you can do crawling alone, which is great. But I was just like, man, I kind of want to start venturing off into different things because it's Arkansas RC Newbie. It's not Arkansas RC crawling, you know.
Right.
And I missed kind of flying the drone. I know this isn't a drone, but I'm just wondering how it's going to go. I'm really nervous about it. I mean, it's got landing gear.
Yeah.
It's got landing gear on it, you know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to come in a certain way in order for the landing gear to even make a difference.
I absolutely.
So if you're coming in like this, then the landing gear is not going to do anything for you.
No bumpers. You know?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah. So make sure you guys also turn notifications on if you are not a member, if you ain't subscribed to my channel. Go over there and check it out.
We'll be watching for that episode for sure.
Yeah. Last episode on this thing was the unboxing. The next one will probably be like a initial impressions, maybe flying. I don't know where I'm going to go with it. You know, definitely some stuff in the mail as far as being able to get that thing up in the air.
Heck yeah.
But you know, and hopefully the people or the community in the air is just as nice as the ones with the crawling stuff to be able to help me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about it, man. But
I would be too.
Yeah. That's
a big investment for something that can go disastrous very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just might be. But I'm looking forward to it. You know?
It'll be an awesome experience either way.
Yeah, and it'll be on camera too. It will be recorded.
Heck yeah. So what else you got coming up for 2024? You got any big plans? Anything specific? Any teasers?
Not really. I mean, I guess one of the teasers you could say is this build here. What was that you talked about earlier? The competition.
So the RC it's the Remote Control Rainforest Challenge.
See, maybe like a Rainforest Challenge, or maybe a the Tough Truck is what I was thinking about. Maybe for this build here. This year's Delta Plastics USA sent me some bodies.
Yeah.
And this was like a Ford M200 or something, like a drift
body. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, let me chop this thing down. They had one on their site that was all chopped up, similar to this, so I tried to copy them with that. But pretty cool company, their plastic's pretty good quality. So I've got that handled, and then this is the issue that I was having with the wheelbase and the height from the skid plate. But I was thinking maybe I ought to make this one the new build for those competitions. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
I've got a servo that I bought. I think it's like a Flash Hobby, $38 servo. You mess with that thing and you tell me, would that be Tough Truck enough? I mean, maybe I should enter a Tough Truck competition and build this crawler specifically for that. Maybe that's what we'll be doing in 2024. Of course, we'll be doing all the season stuff. I want to show HSSC some love. Want to do some CrawlerCast, show a little bit of love.
Right on.
The OCC boys, show them some love. And then what was Jason? You talked about Jason starting something new.
Arkansas Comp Rigs.
Arkansas Comp Rigs.
Shout out Jason Hall.
Yeah, might even go over there and do something for 2024. So, you know, I like to just kind of spread the love a little bit. Of course, HSSC is where I started, and that's definitely where I want to make sure I enter for the season.
Right
you know
on.
What I mean? So
you've always got a home with us for sure.
Yeah, so I want to always make sure I try to get as many comps in there as I can. And hopefully next year, man, just what's new to be coming is the airplane stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be getting a trainer. I should probably get a trainer for that. But we'll be taking to the skies with Arkansas RC Newbie channel. And hopefully taking some first place wins. And there's a lot of guys out there that support me that really want to see me win.
Yeah.
And all I've been able to take is a second place, you know. So hopefully we can get
You've been right there.
Man, I would love to. I would love to go home with a first place medal from the Nomad stuff. I mean, those are beautiful, beautiful little medals there, little 3D printed. You know, I mean, I would love a first place, but I've got a couple of second places. But I really want to win some money.
Heck yeah!
And there's just nothing that compares to. We're talking about the hobby and all that. The nerves.
Yeah.
You're a nerve guy.
I am.
And I will go out there just to get in his head. I'll get a camera all up in his face and all over his rig.
In my grill,
just
bro.
You. But really, everybody else out there thinks I'm trying to get them all off their game. But that's one thing I appreciate from everybody that I've ever been around with the crawling world is everybody's been pretty much for the most part okay with me filming them. And I'm not doing it to get a head up. And obviously, I'm not getting first. I've gotten 2 second places. I ain't doing it to get a heads up. I'm just doing it for content, be able to share that. So as much as people can, you know, I'm glad they appreciate the channel because I'm doing it for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of show everybody different lines people can take and all that. But everybody thinks I'm like cheating or I'm out there like singing the way they went. It's like, man, like I could care less. I'm trying to get the shot.
Right.
You know? You've seen me drive.
Well, this past year I kind of took it easy and didn't really try too hard because I want to give you other guys, a chance. But
okay.
No holds barred for 2024. We're coming out swinging. Get ready for the competitions. We're going to set up some gnarly gates.
Yeah.
Like the training wheels are coming off for 2024.
Now let me ask you this: are we doing the 10-minute or 6-minute?
We're going to 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to 6 minutes.
Okay.
And that's what the rule set has always been.
Mm-hmm.
And so prior years we had no time limit.
Yeah.
And then as we got more and more people showing up to the events, it was just taking too long to get through everybody.
Yeah.
So we started, like in 2021, we were doing 15-minute runs. 2022 and 23, we did 10-minute runs.
Mm-hmm.
And so for 2024, we're going to go to the actual rule set time limit to 6 minutes.
Okay, 6-minute time limits. Which I'm a fan of, you know.
Yeah.
But what's the penalty if you go over 6 minutes?
So it's basically a disqualification.
Okay, but you guys heard that. We're gonna stick to that, right?
Right.
It's over 6 minutes, you're disqualified.
It's so.
I'm gonna hold you.
Disqualified might be the wrong term. So you get.
There we go. We're back. We're crawfishing.
You get a timeout penalty of 80 points.
Okay. Okay. And that sticks with you.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, so you would get all your progress and penalties up to when, let's say you're on gate 5 and you run out of time.
Uh-huh.
You'll get all your progress that you had up to gate 5, but you won't get any of the bonuses.
Okay. Okay.
And then whatever your score is at gate 5, you'll get an additional 80 points added to your score.
All right.
For timing out.
I know you're one of the fastest guys out there. Like, I've seen you run the course in 2:55.
And that's probably why I have a lot of penalties too.
Yeah.
But it's really hard. You have to find that balance of knowing. And that's a good thing about really walking and studying the course before you start also, is figuring out the areas where you can make up time and the areas where you need to take your time.
Yeah.
So the areas where you know you might get hung up or you need to be real precise about where you put your tires, take your time there, do what you got to do to get through that spot, but then always hunt for those spots where you can go full throttle and cover 15 foot in a small amount of time, you know what I mean? So
but there's a lot behind it, man. You know, it's definitely a learning process, but I didn't realize how intense the situations can get.
Yeah.
Especially the later that you run. I've been really liking the whole drawing of the numbers on the drivers. Sometimes you get a little bit upper hand if you're going to be going first or in the middle or at the end.
I think everybody's kind of digging it, and we'll probably continue doing that for next year.
It seems fair, you know. But it's so interesting to me, the different drivers' mindsets and their takes on what line they're going to take. You know, some guys might be going right, then left, and then some people do the complete opposite, and some people skip different parts, and I love that aspect of it. It really is, you know, just slowing down and just taking it in, and just the driving techniques are really interesting. That's what gets me. And I try to calm down with the nerves. I always get nervous on courses, on course 2. You know, because I know, especially if I did really well on course 1, I'm like, okay, we're on the road here. You know?
All I gotta do is do good.
Yep, and it happens every time. Course 2, that's why you guys never see on Arkansas RC Newbie channel. That's why you never see course 2 ever being ran, because I always screw it up, like something awful, man.
Oh man, we love having you. We love the exposure, and you know, your exposure to the club has helped grow the club itself, and that's why I love supporting you and sharing the videos and,
absolutely. I appreciate
getting your name out there and letting everybody know what's going on.
No, it's very cool, and it happens every comp. It seems like somebody comes out and goes, "Man, you're the Arkansas RC Newbie." The only reason I'm out here, I know faces, you know, is because I've been watching your channel, and that's what we get the footage for.
Well, and you really helped inspire me to take off with CrawlerCast also. You know, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but just due to anxieties and just not having the gumption to step up and put yourself out there, you know, it takes a lot of guts.
No,
it does.
Yeah, and I mean, it ain't easy getting in front of a camera, you know what I'm saying, and talking and kind of keeping things interesting. But hopefully your channel continues to grow and mine continues to grow. I know you got another box over there with some like official, professional looking stuff for an actual podcast, right?
I am doing everything I can, and I'm spending every available dime to buy better equipment, to just bring up the level, the quality of the videos, the quality of the audio. I'm just one guy that lives alone and still has to pay rent. You know what I mean? So any available funds that I have is being dedicated to the channel, the builds, the camera equipment, the sound equipment, and we're trying to make a go of it.
Got to spend it to make it.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. But man, really enjoyed having you on the show, man. I appreciate you coming. We had we had a little miscommunication, mostly my fault in the beginning.
We've been trying to get together for 4 months, guys.
We worked it out, and we finally made it happen.
And you called me this morning, I was sleeping. It's like, come on now. Like, damn, now it's 7 at night, not 7 in the morning.
I had it in my head you were going to be here at 7 in the morning for some reason, and I'm like, at 7:42, where is he? He's not answering my text. He's not nothing. Where is he?
But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys watching as always. Very cool to be on the CrawlerCast. I'm looking forward to another, maybe whenever we do an event or something like that, we can do a little, I don't know, maybe
we need to collab more for sure.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun, or maybe like a conclusion to the event and kind of sit down and talk about it. I think that'd be a lot of fun, especially for the people that are there, you know. And that's something else that's really important too, is not only, you don't have to go out there with a crawler. I mean, heck, over there at the Cedar Glades, there's a bunch of people just watching. Like, people love to just sit and watch, and you learn so much by just being a part of the audience, you know.
Everybody's always welcome at any of our events. You don't have to compete. You don't have to be involved. You can come and just hang out and learn. There's a lot of people that are kind of interested, but they're timid or they're unsure and they're scared to take that step. And if that's you, all I can tell you is just show up. Come meet the guys, and you'll have a whole new perspective. Yeah. And like Jeremiah was saying, we have some of the best guys around that are so supportive. Nobody tries to hide their secrets and tricks. Everybody is wide open with what they do on their rigs, and
absolutely,
we all just want to progress the hobby and help each other out. It's so much fun, dude. I love it.
Yep, me too. I'm looking forward to next year for sure.
Heck yeah, 2024 is going to be crazy.
Yep. But what do you say we get out of here?
Heck yeah. You got any final shout outs?
Yeah, man. I want to shout out, of course, the channel Arkansas RC Newbie. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.
I'll put links in the description.
Okay. Crawler Innovations, I want to thank them. They sent me a whole bunch of goodies you guys can see in some of the episodes. Also, we got RC All-Wheel Drive. Hooked your boy up with tools, some of the best tools I've been using.
Heck
yeah. Some different tires, some wheels, things like that. And also Squid Inserts and Delta Plastics USA.
Heck yeah. Well, shout out you guys. If you're still watching, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. This has been a great episode. Thanks for coming on, Jeremiah. We really appreciate it. And, man, just the guys that are out here watching and supporting and helping, and thank you guys for commenting and liking. It really helps the algorithms. It helps us grow. It helps us know that what we're doing is what you guys want to see. And comment below, who do you want to see on the next episode of CrawlerCast? Thanks for joining us, guys.
We're out of here.